Good afternoon. This is Miss Elder at Flint Hill. Today we're going to be graphing. There's several different kinds of graphs that are available to look at in third grade. Today we're going to be using the bar graph. The bar graph for us is already going to be created. Since it's created, we're going to learn how to manipulate that information to use it to answer questions. Okay, if you look at the bar graph, I have cows, pigs, chickens, and goats. Now, I look and I see there are several things on the bar graph that I need to understand. Every graph will have a title. Every graph will have the X and Y axis labeled. So this axis is the number of animals. Down here we have the type of animal. And then each one is labeled so that we are sure which one we're looking at. I look at my scale on the side and I see that it's counting by twos. This is very important because if I assume that it's counting by ones, I can get the question wrong. Okay, now there are 4 questions that I'm going to answer with my bar graph. How many cows are on the Hackberry farm? That's an easy one, okay? That's just knowing how to read the graph. How many more chickens are there than pigs and goat? Okay, this one I not only need to be able to read the graph, but I need to know what I need to look at. So there's some addition and subtraction involved. Number 3, how many animals are there in all? And then write one question that can be answered using this data. All right, so I'm going to get my annotating tool. And I'm going to write over some of the graph. Okay, how many cows are on the Hackberry farm? So I look for cows. Simple enough. Then I have to look and see how far that bar graph goes up. So I see the top of my bar graph is right here, and I look across, and that line is 14. Okay, that's an observation. That's knowing how to read the data. Okay, the next one, how many more chickens are there than pigs and goats? Okay, so first thing I need to know is that I need to know how many pigs and goats there are. When I see the word "and" using math, I know I'm going to add. I'm combining those 2 groups and comparing it to the chickens. So now I not only have to read it, but I have to do something with it. So pigs, I have somewhere in between 8 and 10. The only number that is between 8 and 10 is 9. So I'm going to make a mark that tells me how many. I have 9. And I look at my goats, and I see it comes up to that 3rd bar, and the 3rd bar is 6. Now, I'm going to write all of my math work in this frame. So I have to add pigs and goats. 9 plus 6 equals, well, 9 and 6 is just like a 10 and 5. I trade 1 left over from the 6 and make a 10 with it, and then add 5. So 9 plus 6 is 15. So the total I have is 15. So now I'm not finished with this one. I need to see how many chickens I have. So I look on my bar graph and it goes above 16, but not quite to 18. This tells me that it's going to be 17 is between the 2. So 17 is greater than 15, so I'm going to subtract. 17 minus 15. And I know, because they're both odd numbers and they're one apart, that that's 2. Okay, because 15 plus 2 is going to equal 17. And I always check myself. How many animals are there in all? So, this is the cumulative effect. I have to count all these animals now. So I already know how many cows there are because I put it right here. So I'm going to bring it on down here. I know how many pigs there are. And I'm just going to go ahead and add that. 14 plus 9. I'm going to switch one from the 4 over to the 9 and make it a 10. I have 3 left over. That's going to make 23. 23 plus the chickens, which is 17. Now, this one looks daunting, but I'm going to use a special strategy. I'm going to look here and make a 10 out of that 3 and 7. I'm going to go ahead and drop this 3 in with this 7 and make 20, and I'm going to make this a 20. So 20 plus 20 is simple, 40. And then 40 plus 6 equals 46. So there's 46 animals in all. The last thing, and I'm going to leave this for you, is to write a question that could be answered using the graph. Okay? You can ask questions like, which one has the most? Which one has the least? You could combine two and compare again. It's up to you. So this is the lesson on how to use a bar graph and all the different things that you can find by using a bar graph. So when you finish this, please send me an email at elder.catherine@newton.k12.ga.us. Thank you so much and enjoy graphing.